Welcome to a new Scary Tuesday, TikTakers. Do you remember that sinister game of Among Us we shared with you a while ago? Well, you asked us so much for a second part that we decided to make it a reality. Are you ready? Yoon's death completely destroyed her family. Her parents could barely get out of bed in the morning, and Yoon's sister Leah, the very one who found her sibling's dead body, was going to therapy. Nobody had dared to enter her small apartment again after that fateful day. And Leah, laying on her bed while staring at the ceiling, would remember that horrible scene each and every night. She would frequently have to take a significant dose of sleeping pills in order to barely sleep for about 2 hours. That terrible day, Leah decided to use the keys that her sister had given her for emergencies, since Yoon didn't go to her weekly get-together for breakfast. Yoon never missed it, so Leah thought that she just overslept. However, what Leah never imagined was finding that macabre scene from which she could only remember the blood and the decomposed face of the family's loved girl. The days passed by and Leah's family basically gave up on life. Leah left university and all she did was trying to make sure her parents had everything they needed. And despite Leah being their daughter, she took the responsibility of taking care of her parents and trying to help them cope with such a devastating blow to their lives. On one of the many nights when Leah couldn't sleep, she decided she would turn on and double-check her sister's computer. The police verified it thoroughly, but they didn't find anything suspicious. However, Leah knew that there had to be something in there. Yoon was a peaceful girl. She had no enemies. Leah just couldn't understand why someone would want to kill her, let alone in such a cruel and gruesome way. Beforehand, Leah checked all of Yoon's physical folders, and not without letting out a few tears, she saw printed photos of her sister. She looked so happy. Someone had to pay for taking her life. Leah was now determined to find out what really led to Yoon's demise. That fateful day when Yoon was murdered, Leah checked the computer to see if there was anything out of the ordinary there. But the desktop was clean, showing no signs of any active window. However, Leah now had another idea. She would verify Yoon's search history. Leah unpacked the box she was given that contained her sister's computer, and in a few minutes, she set it up to start her search. Leah knew that the police had already gone through Yoon's computer, but they didn't truly know her, and it was likely that they missed something. In general, what Leah found were pages of online news sites, articles for her classwork, and a lot of Among Us content. Leah knew her sister was a huge fan of that game, but couldn't understand why Yoon had done so many searches about it in forums. And so Leah decided to look deeper into it, and eventually ended up on a strange website that talked about the game. Out of a sudden, a pop-up message appeared on the screen. "Whoa, it's you. We were waiting for you." Leah's heart raced and then felt very sad. Those were probably friends of Yoon, and Leah had to give them the terrible news. Leah told them that she wasn't Yoon and asked who was writing those messages. The response was pretty quick. "We know you're looking for answers about your sister's death, and you'll be able to find them here. Would you like to play a match?" Leah started to feel very nervous. How did they know that she was looking for answers? She hadn't even told her parents that she wanted to investigate what happened. She turned off the computer and went back to bed. However, Leah couldn't sleep. What if it was true? What if they could actually tell her what happened to Yoon? She rushed back to the computer and answered the latest message. "Okay, we'll play, if you tell me what happened to my sister." The whole thing was surreal, but knowing the interest Yoon had in this game, Leah had nothing to lose but trying. They gave her a series of strange instructions and the match would start shortly. Leah was not an expert playing Among Us. She had only played a couple of times because Yoon asked her to. However, Leah still knew how the game worked and decided to keep going. She was a crewmate, and so her mission was to finish tasks and find the imposter. And coincidentally, she was controlling the red crewmate, her sister's favorite. The match started, and even before Leah decided where to go first within the ship, the first emergency meeting was summoned. In the chat, someone who didn't seem to be part of the players said, "Before we begin, let's make good on our promise and show how Yoon died." Leah's heart started to race. Was this a sick and horrible joke? No, it wasn't. After that message, a video appeared where a man wearing a black mask could be seen slitting the throat of her sister. That horrible video was then followed by another message. "Happy now, Leah? Now you know what happens if you abandon a match in Among Us." If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode!